But we're being Islamified. We're heading towards Sharia law. I'm starting to suspect that the one world religion after the one world government and one world currency is established will be Islam. It will be Islamic. You know, Christians by nature feel guilty. Christians by nature are the white people. So white people generally just feel guilty about everything. Christianity for black people is about status, more or less. Where do you fit into the hierarchy? That's what that's all about. So when you mix those two, one group of Christians that feel guilty and one group of Christians that are concerned with status, you're going to have conflict. Much less if they don't speak the same language. What kind of crazy asshole made it so that you could speak Spanish on the phone? It's business. They can make more money. What does an illegal immigrant that we give him citizenship? I get it. It's good for them. It's nice to them. They've already been here. Some other way they got the way they got here was horrible. And, you know, they work a shitty job. They're illegal immigrants. You hate those guys. No, I don't hate them. I think they should get out. What is their commitment to this country? They don't care. No more dual citizenships. They're talking about giving this Israeli spy back to the Israelis. So in other words, there are spies from Israel spying on the United States. Now, I've been making quite a bit of noise about the Jewish people lately, so I'm considered an anti-Semite now. And I've been very vocal on my comments on lefty, narco-pinko, communist YouTube channels like David Pakman. So I got people chasing me now. And one lady said to me, you should be careful talking about the Jewish people. You're going to get a curse on your head. God's going to curse you. You better repent. Okay, so as an atheist or someone that just lacks a directional faith, I say atheist, I've been trying to give Christianity a chance. I really do. I try to think about it. I'm not saying what you should do. I try to think about it. But when I hear stuff like this, so let me get this straight, okay? Let me get this straight. They bring Jesus to Pilate. Pilate's wife had a bad dream. Says, let this guy go. He's innocent, right? Pilate don't give a fuck. He finally says, he washes his hands symbolically in front of this big mob that wants to kill Jesus. He says, I washed my hands of this. I don't want anything to do with it. You guys, it's going to be on you. It's up to the Jews. And they all yell, crucify him! Crucify him! Flog his entire body. And then stab him a few times and break his legs. Or I don't think they actually broke his legs. Fuck him up good. Make him carry the cross. Just kill that bastard. Okay, big group of Jews. I don't really, when I was going to church as a kid or something, I didn't really, think like all those Jews were bad guys. But apparently the Jews killed the guy. Apparently he was a Jew that was killed by his own people. Rejected by his own people. And now according to their book, he's boiling in shit. Down in hell. And I'm supposed to kiss their ass. You should hear what these guys say. These Israeli guys that are in charge over there. About what they say about the Palestinian people. Like that they're cows. That they're animals. That they're lower than human beings. You should hear some of this shit. And so this Christian lady is telling me I need to repent because I'm pointing out some bullshit these guys are doing. And, this is a private radio show. It's for adults. It's a membership only. There's a secret knock to get in. We slide open the door. Look, we identify you. We slide the thing and let you in. It's a speakeasy of truth. You're not allowed if you're square. You want to complain? You want to disagree? I'm cool with that. Complain. Disagree. Call the goddamn show. There's a phone number. Go through the effort and call the show. I don't care. Call in. Tell me how I'm an anti-Semite. I'm not going to yell at you. I want to hear it because when I do the math, and the lady says I'm supposed to bow down to him, she don't even know what she's talking about because the Jewish people, and it's not fair to say Jews, it's Zionists. There's Catholic Zionists. But, what are you supposed to say? It's their people. That's why I say about Islamic people. There's nice Islamic people, but there's some real assholes. Same thing with Christians. I guess that's just the way it goes. Mankind is evil. I guess there'll always be the fringe. And unfortunately with democracies, We have to lower the standards to the lowest common moron in the group. We're in such trouble. The millennials are in trouble. What a big, fat doughboy, entitled, incompetent, ignorant generation. Sorry, young people. No, you don't understand. We're bright. We're intuitive. We're feeling. We're perceiving. We're equal. We like to be equal. I just welcome everybody in my midst. I don't discriminate. He's a discriminator. That guy's a bigot. He's prejudiced because he discriminates. Okay, so you just eat any old fruit that's got a worm in it. You just eat it because you don't discriminate. You don't care if the guy that babysits your kids is a Satanist. We accept everybody. We don't care if you're some overweight 40-year-old guy walking around the streets in women's lingerie with bad makeup. Hey, you're expressing yourself. It's cool. Why don't you come over and hang out with my kids? I'm all down with Russia for that. Once again, I know they're an oligarchy, but I think I'm going to be a Ruski. I'm going to go over there and support the guy. That guy chops wood. He's a man's man. But instead, no, they're all equal. You'd have to be crazy to be in the service right now. Anybody that's in the military right now, here, I know a secret that you guys know that us civilians don't know. Okay? I know a secret that the guys in the military know that never makes it on the news. No one ever talks about it. Here it is. The guys in the military, if they get in a shooting war and they're shooting at each other, you guys are great. You're awesome. You're all bureaucratic and it's kind of bad, but in the foxhole, when you're looking down at sight and you're actually doing your job, you guys are awesome. It's like 0.01% of the time of your whole career in the military. When you guys are on the battle line, I give you credit, I give you props. But all of the rest of the time, if people in the United States, if civilians had any idea of the shenanigans that go on base and in the compartment and in the division and what goes on when you're out in the field, when you're out doing exercises, the crazy, childish bullshit that goes on. You guys are in charge of the nuclear weapons. You can't talk to each other. It's all fractured and fucked up. Nobody knows what anybody else is doing. It's amazing we don't have a problem. The shenanigans, the sexual shenanigans. The army, the military is broken. Face it. It's broken. 22 suicides a day. Let me just throw this out to you, military people. None of you probably listen to my show, maybe. That illegal camper that was executed, which looked just like Nazis shooting a Jew on the edge of a trench, right? I mean, God, it's like identical footage. That guy that was executed, the camera that was looking down the rifle, a U.S. military Iraqi veteran. There you go. So let's ask the question. This is one of the most famous truther questions of all time was, will the military shoot on the civilians? I don't see any reason to trust the military at this point. I mean, your average guy, of course. If I saw a military guy hitchhiking, I'd give him a ride. Poor guy. But in general, as a group, I see no leadership coming out of the military. Look what happened in Egypt. And this whole thing about the co-ed, you see the incrementalism. First it was don't ask, don't tell, right? They weren't satisfied with that. Now it's the gay pride parade. You got male soldiers wearing women's clothing doing entertainment. That's so cute. Meanwhile, you got enemy soldiers from other places that they don't have this culture. They break bottles over their head, okay? These guys are tough as nails. Meanwhile, hey, I'm not saying that a gay guy can't be a great soldier. It's a morale destroyer. It's been done on purpose to demoralize our military. We're so fucked right now. Who wants to keep being a military? When we get under the one world government, after World War III. Yeah, there won't be any more war. You won't have to worry about that stuff anymore. The police will handle everything. How does Obama get the right to give the internet away? It's like giving the Panama Canal away. It was suicide for the British. I mean, why would we give the internet away? Who voted for that? How is that? We are just, when you look at the news, look at Drudge. We're in a complete crash. It's fucking chaos. I think it's like Matthew 26, something about wars and rumors of wars. There's wars everywhere. You know what? We're not supposed to worry about it. God will take care of the mess. I think about this thing about God. I believe there's something going on. And the older I get, I was thinking about this morning. I don't know if you, like, when you watch a movie and you see the old guy in the movie, it's an old man who lives up on the top of the mountain or something, or they're usually a hermit, they live off somewhere. In some way, the hero of the story, who's now a brawny chick. Everybody in the movies now, the main character is a brawny chick. She has to go, it used to be a guy, but now she has to go see the old man, lives up in the mountains. Noah, they had to go see Anthony Hopkins. He lives in a cave somewhere, old man, right? These old guys, they're not interested in sex anymore. You know that? And they don't care about their appearance. They wear like shitty clothes. They don't care. All they care about is their like a little bowl to hold some food. Live in Spartan surroundings. They just don't care about decorating. They don't put new rims on their tire anymore. They're an old Yoda character. They're an old wise man. So you're talking about an old guy that younger people could go to and ask advice from, an older guy, right? What's his mind like? Well, I'll tell you something. The older you get, the more you don't care about shit. The less you say. I hear my kids talking, and I just hear kids talk. And I don't even want to speak up anymore because, one, they won't listen. I'm talking grown kids. You got little kids, you got to hang in there and keep telling them stuff. But I'm saying grown kids, I don't even bother to try to, I got to wait till they come. My daughter's 24, almost 25. Now I'm getting smarter every year that goes by. And this is from when she was in her 20s when, she'd explain to me how I don't understand, and explain the facts of life to me. But I hear younger guys. There's a guy, a blogger I was listening to this morning, Davis Ariani. I really like listening to him talk, and he does podcasts where he's talking to some other guy, And I realize after listening to him for a while, it's interesting. It's really interesting stuff they talk about, but I'm older than them. I can tell. I can tell by the way they talk about video games. I'm older than them. I can tell by the way they talk about Deep Space Nine. I'm older than them. I'm an original Star Trek guy. I'm just older than them. And when they talk about like sexual stuff, and they talk about like game and picking up chicks and what's going on with the psychology of bitches and the bars and all this other stuff, I just sit there and listen as an old man, I'm old enough now, I'm not even interested in Viagra. I guess, I'm not saying that. I've already passed the stage where I was looking at them younger and younger and younger, I don't know. I'm still interested, but I don't care. And I'm not going to model my behavior to like, I say drop your baggage, drop your luggage, be a man. Women will appreciate you more for it. Just, you don't need to worry yourself about all that shit. I think it's funny too because I was reading in the Bible, it said that they just don't care about what women think. They just don't. But for us men folk, after you've lived a while, and I'm not saying I'm that old and that smart. I'm not. I'm still learning. But I noticed though when I listen to these real smart guys that are younger than me talk, a lot of it's kid talk. It's like 14-year-old girl talk. They're still trying to figure stuff out that don't matter. We're still wasting our time. Still trying to figure out what's going to give you meaning in your life. What is a man? There's no goddamn father figures. What is a man supposed to do? Don't worry, we'll have a lesbian teach you. We'll get that transgendered guy in here. He's real nice. He'll teach you, boy, about all your options. It's a slippery slope. First, it's don't ask, don't tell. Then it's balls out. cabaret. Oh, that's so fun.